Welcome everybody to the HolloTalk Podcast. This is Jetpack Nick, and I got my main man T. Lou with me. Say what's up to the people.
It's good.
So for this episode, we were talking off record, me and T. Lou, and we were talking about this idea of trying to bring people along with you versus having to let people go in order to progress in your life. Now, I know for myself, like this is something that's kind of tough to balance a little bit because of like how open I am to having people around me, or like, just keeping that team around me, if you will, or just people who I've grown up with or whatever the case may be. Sometimes it can be difficult to balance that, like with that progress or trying to progress with having those people come along with you, because everybody's not on the same path as you, and that's just something that you got to realize. And people who are on that same path as you got to identify them, cultivate that relationship, and then see what it blossoms into. How about you? Do you feel like that's something that you can balance, like you lean in one way to or the other? What you think?
I feel like you can. It goes both ways, because if you're trying to get to a certain level and you had a certain goal in mind, you're going to want certain people around you to help you progress toward that goal. And to be honest, a lot of people, they become dead weight. You get so stuck and hanging with a certain group of people that, you bring it up to them. Like say for instance, I'm hanging with the same group of guys every day. They do the same thing every day. And I bring out what I want to do. And it's, oh, damn, I don't think you could do that. Or I don't think that's possible. And it's like, damn, like you saying this, meanwhile, my other group of friends is like, yeah, bro, we could do this, this, and this to get towards this. And it's like, I want to bring people along for the ride, but it's a slippery slope, because it's either, I could do this by myself, I don't need nobody, or I could use everybody to help me get towards what I'm doing.
And do you feel like for you, like that's something that's easily identifiable, or that's a little challenging?
Yeah, for me, definitely for me. If I have a certain goal in mind, I know who's going to get me there. I know what I need to do. And because I'm real with myself, I know what it's going to take. I know what it's not going to take. And I know by me hanging with, back then, before I was in school, I would hang with the same group of people. They would do the same thing every day. And me having the will that I do, I wouldn't do the certain things that they do, so whether it be drinking or smoking. But a lot of people older than me, my old heads, they tell me like, yo, if you keep hanging with them, you're going to fall into that routine. You're going to start doing what they do. And it's like, you damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like I love them to death. It's like, damn, I don't want to leave my people. But if I want to go here, I can't keep hanging with people that don't have nothing going on.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that. I mean, I don't know. I think like, as we get older, as time goes on, like you try to hold true to like your friends that you grew up with, or the friends that you gained through school, or whatever the situation may be, right? And thinking about us, like we in our early 20s, almost mid 20s and things like that. So we kind of got our core set of people. But
yeah.
I also know, or at least I'm trying to figure out, that you can't get trapped in that type of mindset neither, because you still got so much more life to go, so many more experiences to experience, so many more things to do. Therefore, you're going to encounter a lot of different people who may either replace those people that are currently here or be added onto that. And, just knowing that, it's kind of like, how do you even open yourself up to, bring new people on, or feel comfortable doing that, or feeling like these people I got with me they not cutting it. These new people, they cutting it though. But you got to build that relationship because they're new people. So you still don't trust them, kind of, sort of, but you got to, because that's what your future looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And for me, it's my man Corey, my man Chubbs. It used to be my man Rob before he left and went to the Marines. So it was like my go-to, my ace. It's like a guy I'm with damn near every day while I'm home. It's mostly productive shit, rather we bullshit, and we sit there, we talk about certain stuff. And then I go hang with people I used to. I make sure I still see them, but it's like damn, y'all, it's like, damn, y'all still doing the same stuff we was doing 5-6 years ago. And it's like, it's like I asked all my homies, like yo, where you see yourself 5, 10 years from now? It's I don't know, bro, or it's which is fine, but it's like we getting older to a certain point, and it's like some of y'all got kids, and you don't know where, like you don't know what you want to do, you don't know where you're going. And my best advice for one of my homies is, if they don't, yo, you should try to go to school. No, I don't really mess with school like that. Or you should get your CDL. No, I really don't want to get the CDL. I'm like, well, you can try a trade school where you can work for yourself, make your own hours. And it's like, I'm just at the point where it's so many different things out here to do that you shouldn't be doing nothing. Like if you cool with doing nothing,
Sure.
I don't want to be nowhere near you. Because if you out here doing nothing, you try to do other things, and other things lead to jail, lead to getting killed, lead to things that nothing good. So it's like, I'm just very aware of who I want around me at all times.
Yeah, I think that right there is an interesting point too. That you just made, because I mean it happens every year, damn near every day or whatever the case, like what you just mentioned. But this year has been a little like different, like you've seen it at a higher level, like like we in Philly, so we already at 500 plus. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just seeing that, being in that kind of environment, being privy to that information, you always just want to take the steps in order to not not be in that type of environment, not be in that in the way of any of that. And of course, like you never could prepare for whatever, but just knowing that it's like you want to do as much as you can to put yourself in a better position. And that starts with having great people around you, people who are like-minded, people who have the same ambitions, same level of discipline, same level of motivation, and whatever word that you choose to insert right there. For me, I know that, like, just doing the podcast, like, this is something that I do and that I want to do in order to get me to a level in which I see myself being at, which is, being a staple in the media world, being able to interview the top level people, the top athletes, top entertainers, top whatever, right? So I take this crap seriously, and the fact that I got people like you and a bunch of other people that I named on the last episode, which was the Thanksgiving episode. Shouts out to all of them again. I take I take that very serious, of who I give my energy to, who I keep around me, who I share my ideas with, because having the wrong people around you, sharing those ideas with those people, that shit can be very draining, and it could potentially lead you astray from your path.
Absolutely. And it's like you said, leading, like being around certain people, you share some things, you share what you want to do, and it's just like Debbie Downers, party poopers. It's like, damn, you really don't like it. It's for me, it used to be hard to distinguish, like, are you like saying I can't do it because you yourself don't want to try, or are you saying it that because you don't think I'm capable of it? And that's what it took me for. It took a while for me to understand. It's like, damn, like you really don't believe me, or is it like, is your life so bad that you don't want to see like good things happening to other people? And I had to get around. I had to get away from those people, because it's like we just get into a certain point where I'm just like, if you're not contributing, if you're not helping me, put me on no money, if you're not bringing basically bringing quality to my life, I'm cool. Like everything is curtains feet. Like we could play ball, we could play ball, we could go to the mall, we go to the movies, but like for all the other stuff, because me, if I got an idea, I bring it to my homies.
For sure.
But if you're not one of those people I could bring it to, it's like it's really no use of you being around, because I try to have certain, like me, I mix friend groups.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have one group of guys hanging with a different group of guys, and I make sure everything will mesh well, because if something goes down or something happens, I want to make sure that I can call so-and-so to help. It's just like, it's a very difficult topic, because it's just, everybody is different. Everybody had different upbringings, and it's like, we're about 23, 24 years of age. It's all about all the experiences you've had, everything that you've seen in your household, and it's not really a way to pinpoint what, how can I say it? It's just it's a very complex topic. This is.
No, yeah, and that's why I wanted to bring it like, to the podcast, because this is something that like, like we talk about amongst ourselves or just, individually. Just the idea of, can you bring everybody with you, or if you don't bring everybody with you, is that burning bridges with those people that you can't repair, or what, or whatever. Like, do you also feel like that could be the case too? Like the people who you feel like you can't bring with you in order to progress, do you feel like that's burning a bridge completely to where you can't do shit with these people and you can't eventually bring them across? Or is it just like if you can't help me progress to get to this point, is done forever?
I think it's just seasons. Like,
Okay.
I have people that I've used to deal with. I could go a year without talking to them, and then I'll talk to them one day, and then we can start talking every week or every day again. And it's like, it's just seasons, and it's basically what you want to do. You should already know what it's going to take to get there, who it's going to take to get there. And by trying to change, not trying to change people, but trying to make people into somebody that they are not, it's just difficult. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's just
oh, go
it's
ahead, my
just
bad.
like it's just season. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just season, and it's just you know what it's gonna take. You know what it's not gonna take.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think as far as like it being seasons, it can be hard for people who attach to those people within those seasons, like not being able to let that person go, or that attachment go, being like, no, this was my man from from the
It's like
sandbox, like.
I think what you like what I think what you're describing is like um a type of survivor's remorse, because it's like, damn, I wanted you here with me, but it's like I couldn't bring you, and it's like it's just survivor's remorse. That's all I want to say. Survivor's remorse. I feel like it's
so
a sense of it.
so on the flip side of that, right, like being a person that's not being brought along, right, like, can you be okay with not being brought along, like, or is it always like, I like, no matter what, I'm still going to have some kind of negative feelings towards not being brought along, even though it could be self-inflicted?
I think that it's a sense of entitlement. Like, you
Okay.
feel like this person, even though you weren't providing anything, you weren't doing anything for this. Say, or let's say it's a clothing line.
All right.
It's a clothing. I'm starting a clothing line. Um, I'm gonna be in charge of designs. I want you to be in charge of promoting it. I want another person to make sure it's being produced right. I want another person to run the numbers. If I'm asking you to do something, and then I have to take over your responsibility or your duty that I assigned to you, it's like I have no use for you anymore.
Right.
And you want to keep bringing that person, but it's like it's just like a basketball team. Everybody has a responsibility, and it's just like working. I'm gonna even say basketball, just like working a regular job. If everybody is assigned duties, and you have to start doing somebody else's work for the same amount of pay, it's like it's just like you're gonna look like you're just gonna look to your side, and it's like it's no point you like even being anywhere near me.
Yeah, and like, it's this. I don't even want to call it a negative connotation, but just for the sake of the conversation, let's just call it a negative connotation that people put on. You can't mix friends and business. You can't mix family and business, for that matter, right?
Yeah.
Me personally, I said, I try to associate with people who who are on the same type wavelength as me, who I feel as though can benefit from what I'm doing or being in the places that I frequent, right? So therefore, I personally feel kind of comfortable, mixing friendship and business. Like, there's nobody else that I would rather have along this journey with me, because I feel like we on the same type time. Now, for some other people, you just can't do it. Like, business is business, friendship is friendship, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Do you personally feel like that can be the case as far as mixing friendship and business, or family and business for that matter, or it got to stay separate?
I feel like it depends, because if you're selling something, I feel like you can't mix your business with your family, because they, like me, if I'm selling something, I don't care who you are. If you're not my mom, my brother, my sister, my grandma, my grandpa, whatever I'm selling, you're gonna have to pay for it. You're essentially, when you buy something, you're essentially paying for the time that it took to produce it.
For sure.
And certain people was just like, they would feel entitled to it. Like, oh, I was here, but I was with you before you started doing this, so I think you should just give me this for free. And it's like, absolutely not. That's not the problem. And I've butted head. Like, I don't care. You guys, my man Court, I don't care about butting heads with anybody. You can feel how you want to feel. You can say what you want to say. You could do whatever you try to want to do. But if you try to, like, I won't say like big up in somebody, but it's like entitlement. Entitlement is a disease. You shouldn't feel entitled to anything that somebody else put the work in for, regardless of what you did for that person. Like, say if I'm sleeping on your couch. You let me. I'm homeless for a little minute. I'm sleeping on your couch.
Right.
While I'm sleeping on your couch, I make a hit record. I make millions of dollars, and it's like, oh damn! I feel like since you were sleeping on my couch, it's like, no, like you didn't put these words on this piece of paper. You didn't put the words on this song. But it's like, I can see the adverse to that conversation. Well, to that situation, because it's like, without me, you wouldn't have been able to do this. And it's like, you feel like you don't feel like, I feel like I don't owe anybody. Only people I owe are my mom and my dad. That's the only people I owe for anything. And it's just people you meet along the ride on your way to a destination. No matter how much work you put in, you can meet somebody at the very end before your big break, and they'll feel like they need to be a part of that. They'll feel like they were a part of the whole process getting towards that goal. And that's my disconnect from a lot of people, because I'm gonna tell you straight up, yo, yeah, all right. Or discounts. Discounts is a big thing. People like,
for sure.
I'm selling this. Say I'm selling something for $50. Y'all got 25 for you. Well, I'm gonna say, well, you could take that 25 to somebody else, or you can keep the 25 and you won't be getting nothing. Or I'm gonna just like, yo, don't hit me up for nothing ever again.
Right.
Don't ask me for nothing. And my biggest thing is, if you selling something, would let me to start selling. Well, would let me to start selling stuff, regardless of what it is. Whatever a person asks for, they'll pay for it.
For sure.
That's my biggest thing. And if you can ask for something, you damn sure can pay for it, and you're going to pay for it. I'm not going to give you nothing for free, because mostly the people that feel entitled to what you got going on are people that have businesses themselves, or have stuff going on themselves. And if they're selling something, like somebody can sell a t-shirt. They're selling t-shirts. If I start selling t-shirts, they say, let me get two for one, or let me get this for this. And it's like, when I was supporting you with that, I wasn't asking for nothing. I was paying the price straight up, because whatever you won't pay, a stranger will pay almost double as that. And it's like, I got people from out of town supporting me, and I see you every day, and you think you're gonna get a deal because we hang out. And it's like, no, that's not the deal at all.
Yeah, I see. I want to ask this question, because like that's some heavy shit, and I do feel like we do see that a lot, because even like just the mindset of it all, right? Like, even your homies that's closest to you, the people that hang out with you every day, yeah, they may be like, yo, let me get a discount, let me get half off, or whatever the case. But then they'll go to the Gucci store, the Louis store, pay exuberant amounts of money for some bullshit. Meanwhile, they could keep the dollar in circulation in that circle, but they choose not to do that. Why? I truly don't understand, and I don't think I ever will, as long as that mindset stays intact. But it's interesting to think about and to talk about, which is clearly what we're talking about now.
Yeah. And just like you said, it's like, regardless of whatever my homies got going on, I make sure I pay for it. I pay full price for it. I'm gonna repost it. Like, if you're making music, if you're making clothes, I'm gonna repost it without even you asking me. And it's like, just it's like whatever. If you selling clothes, whatever I'm gonna pay, whatever you want me to pay, I'll pay because I do have those high end brands. I do like that other stuff that makes me pay full price, and I won't try to discount you. A lot of people try to pay $400 for a Gucci belt, and then I'm selling a sweatsuit for $60. They want to say, let me get it for $30. I'm gonna get 45, and it's like it's ass backwards. Excuse my language, but it's ass backwards. That's all it is.
Yeah, and I like I said, I just really don't understand that idea because it's not long-term thinking for me. Like, and it's all about the end goal for me for the most part. Like, if you keep the money in circulation within our circle, we're always going to be good. But if you shortchange me now, I'm not going to have no ends to break you off on when you really need it. Like,
absolutely.
If I'm hot or whatever, and whatever it is I'm doing, if I'm hot and I got the ability to make you hot too. If I got bread, I got the ability to make you bread too. If you shortchanging me, eventually I'm not gonna have enough bread to break you off if you really need to, or give you an opportunity to set yourself up to make your own bread, and you had the ability to set somebody else up to make their own bread, and so on and so forth. Like I just don't understand that thinking, that short term thinking for long term destruction. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
you can talk. You can talk about that.
It's like you said. It's just this is like I wish we hold on. I'm trying to get my thoughts on it, but like you said, it's just people. Certain people. It's people who you meet. Everybody you meet is going to be, well, thank God they're going to be different, but it's all about what you see and what you learn and what you choose to apply to your own life.
Yeah. And like I said, just going back to the balance of it, like it's difficult. It's difficult for a lot of people, not even just me or for you or whatever, just for a lot of people trying to figure out like what's the right move in this particular situation, what's not the right move. How many times am I going to let you do certain things before I just cut you off completely? I'm just throwing stuff out there that's just thoughts, like thoughts in a person's mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, like in my opinion, experience is the best teacher. Like nobody can tell you how to do something because every situation is going to be different, no matter how minor the detail. And it's just every situation is going to be like people are going to get cut off. People just feel, regardless of what you do, somebody's going to feel a type of way about it.
For
and
sure.
That's why I honestly stopped caring about everything somebody got it. Like whatever somebody has to say. Like my parents, like if I do something and you got something to say about it, it's like you don't have to live with the decision. I have to live with it, and I have to choose to correct it. Like if it's all learned behaviors. If I do something, you could tell me like, yeah, you shouldn't have did that. You should have did this, and it's like it's so much easier to say that from the outside rather than being on the inside, because at that certain point you would have thought that was the right choice. And it's just about repercussions. It's about trial and error. And you learn from experience. Experience is the best teacher.
For
Definitely
sure.
Experience is the best teacher.
For sure. Hey, and actually, like I'm gonna try to do this without spoiling anything for anybody who ain't watched this shit yet. But like Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes got that joint out on Netflix called True Story, right? So essentially, like what it is, and like I said, I'm gonna try to do this without spoiling the shit for people who ain't see it. So basically, Wesley Snipes is Kevin Hart's brother. Kevin Hart basically plays Kevin Hart in the show. He's a world famous comedian, a lot of money, this, that, and the third. And his brother is, he has some problems. Let's just say that, right? So, talking about that with this, just kind of equating the two. all Wesley Snipes' character had to do was just ask Kevin Hart's character a question, and it would have been done. It would have been, it would have been smoothed over. But he did some other stuff that created a whole host of problems that didn't need to happen to eventually get to the same point. And then ultimately, things happen. Like I said, I'm trying not to spoil it for y'all, but for the people who've seen it, y'all know what I'm talking about. But all in all, I say all that to say, like, it could be just that easy. Like, if you my man, sometimes you just gotta ask. You ain't gotta play mind games with me. You ain't gotta try to manipulate me. You ain't gotta try to game me and no shit like that.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Like
Good.
I'll be around somebody and it's like, bro, you throwing hints. You want something, but you don't want to ask for it. And me, I'm the type of person where I can know exactly what you want. I know exactly what you're talking about, but a closed mouth won't get fed. And we at this certain age where it's just, you might just not want, you just don't want to hear no, but you also don't want to ask because you want to feel like you got, well, it's just being a man, you want to feel like you got it with no handouts. You did it all on your own, but it's like nobody wants to ask for pick me up. They rather, that's why I feel like it's a lot of people getting in trouble for doing the wrong things because rather than asking for help, they try to go out here and do stuff they aren't supposed to. And then it's like, damn, I knew I should have just asked so-and-so for this. Because I knew they would have gave it to me, but it's like, you don't feel like, it's pride and it's ego. You want to feel like you did it by yourself, but you also don't want to owe anybody. So it's just, like I said, it's a difficult topic. And this topic is going to be talked about repeatedly. And everybody's going to have a different take on it because everybody's lived it. Every single person has lived it. They will live it regardless of where you come from, your culture, what race you are. It's just everybody's going to have something to say about this differently.
Yeah, I actually want to go back to the topic of pride and ego too, because it, again, like you said, that's a difficult topic to kind of digest and decipher, but we're gonna try. So, do you feel like it's possible to kill your pride and ego in certain situations while also maintaining your ability to feel like an individual, to feel like you're doing something off the strength of you, even though you had to kill your pride and ego to ask this person for help, or to kill your pride and ego to accept some help, or like whatever the case may be? You feel like that's possible, or you feel like those two can't coexist?
I feel like the two can't coexist because how can I say this? So me personally, when I was down, I didn't want to ask my homies for help. I'd rather, for me, it's different because my homies, whatever I ask them for, they can ask me for. And I asked my man, like, yo, let me borrow this until I get back up on my feet. And it's like, I really didn't want to ask him, but I knew that this same person, if he would have asked me for this and I had it to give, there would have been no questions asked. And it's all about you, pride, like you said, pride and ego. I feel like if pride and ego is, you shouldn't have an ego. You should have pride. Every man should have pride. But I don't think you should have the ego at all if you constantly need people's help. Because I think you have an ego that goes into the sense of entitlement. Because you like, oh, I'm this person, so if I need this from this person, they should give it to me based off the person who I am, when that's not the case. And it's like I can say Meek said this. When Meek was on his come up, he had people in his family, like everybody with their hand up when he got to the top. And it's like, damn, like you only let me, I forget who the interview was with. He was like, my aunt asked me, like, yo, nephew, you still gonna buy me this big house? And it's like, he basically said, like, then he was just talking, like, people really remember that. Like when he made sense, like people really remember what you tell them when you down until like when you get all the way, like he was like, his aunt told him, like, nephew, you still gonna buy me that big house and so and so. He's like, damn, like I was just talking while I was broke, but it's like, I told you that and I'm a man of my word, so I have to do this. And sometimes you need a chance. And I, like me, if I need your help, regardless of who you are, if I don't know you, I may not ask, but if I need your help and I know you can provide that help until I can get you back, because everybody around us, we all need somebody, because everybody around us that we have, you shouldn't have the same person around you, the same person as yourself, because everybody has different talents. Everybody has different, how can I say this? I don't want to say modes of communication, but it's like, I forget what it's called. Oh my God. I was just learning about this shit. I don't want to say it's not an indirect community. It's like, it's not an indirect community, but it's like by you being my friend, you had this connection. And if possible, I can use that connection if I need to.
For sure.
So it's like, it's just, I feel like you shouldn't have the ego if you broke. If you living paycheck to paycheck, if you don't have enough money I'm gonna put it like this. Growing up in that area, I'm gonna put it like this. Growing up in that area, if you have an ego, you shouldn't have an ego if you don't have bail money. If somebody was to die, you can't pay for their funeral. Like ego is our biggest killer, because we can go through the whole process right before our breakthrough, and we can know what we need to do to get there. And it's like, it can add an extra 5-10 years to your plan rather than you just asking for this person's help, and you can get it right then and there. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
So I know we mentioned ego a lot, and you definitely hit the nail on the head when you said every man should have pride. Everybody, I feel like, should have pride within themselves. But the ego thing, I want to go back to that. So do you feel like you should have ego at all, or like you just shouldn't have it?
I feel like ego it's like me, I have an ego. It's like, yo, like, I don't want to say like I'm that, but I'm that dude. Like I'm just that dude. And it's by me being who I am, I'm going to get there regardless of, that's just the ego in me. That's just me coming from my upbringing, because I wasn't given anything. And where we come from, you got to go out there and take it. You want to go out there and get everything on your own, because when you reach that certain level, you want to look back and be able to tell people that I did this on my own. I didn't have no help. I didn't have no silver spoon. And it's like, that's where the pride comes in, because you're proud, like you're proud of yourself. You're proud of how you went through everything to reach this certain level. And I feel like ego is a good and a bad thing, because the ego can be the fuel, but ego can also be a downfall.
So you feel like ego could translate into different things. So what I mean by that is like you wouldn't call it ego, you would call it confidence, or you would call it like
confident. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It could just translate into different things. So like what do you feel like the difference is between like ego and confidence, or is there no difference at all?
I feel like the ego and confidence go hand in hand. With you should think you thinking highly of yourself, but not think you're better than anybody. I think that's the difference.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would agree to that. I do. I would definitely agree to that. And I also think too that having a level of humbleness about going through what you went through or what you're currently going through, and seeing your peers or people who've made it going through those same sorts of things, you got to take a step back to be like, all right, everybody else has kind of sort of went through this experience. Now, like again, like we like to say, everybody's experience is different, which is true to some degree, but like how many different experiences can you have in a life that billions and billions and billions of people have lived already? You know what I mean? Like it's not. I don't think it's vastly different to where like you don't feel like you can relate to anybody else's struggle or anybody else's upbringing or anybody else's background. Like it's not going to be so different to where it's like you just can't relate at all. Billions of people have already lived this shit. Like,
yeah,
and they may have lived a harder life than you. They may have had it easier than you, but regardless of that fact, we all have shared experiences. That's why we're able to have these conversations on record and off record, because of those shared experiences and shared, moments in time. And, having a level of humbleness to say that that's the case but I can also get to this point. And when I get to this point, I can still relate to those people who are on the up and or like on the come up. I think that's also an important trait to have too, not only for you to maintain and progress with your status, but for also the person that's on the come up to get to where you are and possibly get further than you, if that's the case.
Yeah. So like you said, it's about remembering what it took to get there, but also remembering what how can I say this? I'm trying to formulate a thought, and it's like I'm trying to think how to formulate it.
I'll wait for you. You good?
Give me a second. Yeah, it's about remembering what it took to get there, but not forgetting how you got there. And it's just everybody, like you said, somebody somewhere can relate to what you had to go through, what you went through, what you continue to go through. And it's like, I agree with you on the fact that everybody across the world, in some shape, form, or fashion, we've shared some experience along the way to where we want to go. Because, like me, I wanted to be a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody across the world, everywhere, want to be like somebody right now. Like when I was growing up, I wanted to be a basketball player. It's like, damn, I don't want to go work out. And it's like somebody could be in Arkansas right now, 5 a.m. working out. Somebody could be like, it's so many people trying to get to where you want to go. You really have to be like the top of the top to get where you want to go. Rather than some people, they begin at the finish line.
Right.
Like once they're born, they only have to do this, this, and this. Their life is planned out, rather than other people where it's like you have to formulate your own path. You have people that essentially coming from where we come from, growing up in the inner city, you're trying to be the first to do something, the first to do this, the first to do that. And it's like, regardless, you could look up so many success stories. Like you could look online. Like I know a lot of people, they watch Gary Vee. I can't relate to Gary Vee.
Right.
A lot of people watch Bezos of Amazon started in a garage. Well, Jeff Bezos was also gifted $200,000 from his parents to start this company. And it's like all of these stories are unrelatable, rather than I can think of only a select few where success stories where it wasn't basketball or holding a microphone that got you to where you want to go. And it's like, it's just, I feel like we need to open more dirt. Like this is sort of going off topic, but the lane to get to these to these things is so small that's why you got rappers. Like if somebody wants to be a rapper, they start like, we like, damn, this guy sound like this guy. He trying to rap like this guy. And it's like, that's what he has to do, because rap has been around forever. It'll continue to be around. And it's really no new sound you can come up with. Like that's why you got people sampling beats. Like everybody like just they listen to songs from the 70s, 80s, 90s. They try to sample. And it's like, damn, I'm the first person to use this beat. Or if I'm a basketball player, I'm the first person to play this way. When essentially you aren't, because Kobe wanted to be Jordan.
Yep.
Everybody wanted to be somebody. And it's like LeBron isn't the first LeBron. LeBron wanted to play like Kobe, but he just happened to be 6'9", 270. So it's like, it's just, regardless of how hard you try to get, like how hard you try to go, how far you try to go with something, it's just, I want to say that the level of success is small, but the window is very small. Like you have to be like really like get a great opportunity, or like really have to be the top of the top to get where you want to go at this point.
Okay, so you didn't go off topic to what I wanted to go into now. I wanted to ask this question because I think it could provide some great insight to the people who are going to hear this and just for us having a conversation. But where do you feel like the disconnect is between the people who are trying to make it versus the people who have made it? So so we talk about like the resentment thing a lot, right? Like if you're growing up with somebody and that person happens to blow up and be the man or the woman, right? You being a direct peer of that person, and you don't happen to make it to wherever they made it at, right? Is it a disconnect off the strength of you just feel a type of way because they made it and you did it necessarily, or that person that made it kind of sort of shitting on the people that didn't make it? Cause you could make it and be humble and you could give back to the community and all this good shit, right? But there will still be people who are disconnected from your you giving back versus
Yeah.
some people saying fuck y'all, I'm never coming back. and that's
So
okay.
it's just like for me, growing up playing ball, I got homies that made the league, and it's like yesterday, I'm watching them play, and it's like, damn, I should have went to the league, but then it's like, damn, like my homies really made the league. Like that shit is crazy. Like I used to like ride in the car with this person.
Right.
We used to stay in the same hotel room, and it's like it's a sense of like for me, I'm like that could have been me, but my calling is something different. That's what I look at it as, rather than, damn, that should have been me. I should have been there. I should have did this. I should have did that. And it's like, it's just about what type of person that you are. Because me, money is my thing. I want to make a lot of money to be able to take care of the people that will come after me, the people that came before me, and the people that will continue to come after me. And it's like certain people, they're so stuck in watching somebody else's success. They don't want to go out and attain their own version of it. Because if you see somebody being a famous rapper, you're like, damn, I want to be that, rather than rap might not be a thing, but so many people get caught up in trying to be what they see on TV that it's just, how can I put it? I'm trying to see how can I put this. It's just about what type of person you are, in my opinion. That's all I want to say.
But I also think that goes back to your point when you talked about like it being a narrow path, right?
Yeah, the lane, it's not really a lot of lanes. That's why we try to play basketball, play football, but be a professional athlete or a rapper, because the people that have made it out, like Will Smith, Kevin Hart, they've branched into so many different lanes. And it's like a lot of people, in my opinion, a lot of people from the city don't mess with Kevin Hart. They don't mess with Will Smith because Meek is, a lot of people, like so many people hate Meek, but Meek is the only person you can see in the city. You can see Gilly, you can see Wallow, you can see Jahad Ward. It's so many people that you can see in the city, but it's like the people that reach the highest levels of their industries, you won't ever see them. Like we gave Kevin Hart a mirror on Ariel. I don't even think he was there when they put it up. I don't get that. And it's just like, I don't want to say I feel like they should come back, because you're going to do what you want to do regardless. But It's like so many people can learn from you. So many people can learn from your story. And it's like messed up. Like we hear about Will Smith. Only time we hear about Will Smith is about Jada Pinkett.
Right.
We don't hear about Will Smith coming back to the city. Like, you don't have to donate your money, but it's like you got so much of it, and every school damn near is closing. Like I got middle schools I went to close down. Everybody has schools closing down. Like we have so many schools in the neighborhood. Growing up, it used to be 3-4 neighborhood schools. It's only one now.
Yeah.
So it's like if you do come back, that's why I feel like Meek. I feel like Meek feels like the video when he was in Atlanta giving money to the kids that were selling water.
Right.
He didn't have cash on him, but his man had $20 on him. He gave $20 to him. And it's like, damn, Meek, you ain't getting no bread. But it's like, damn, that's all you gave. And it's like he was saying, it's like it's real messed up to the point where people feel like entitled to somebody else's money, to somebody's success.
And yeah, but also like having that mentality, or not having that mentality as the person, but hearing that mentality from the people and the communities that you come from, or just communities across the world, right? That could also make you not want to give back too, because it's like, well, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't, so I'm not going to. Like, I could save all the schools in the city, and there's still going to be somebody to say, yeah, you also could have did a little bit more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like it's a never ending cycle of you can still do more. Like you, and I also think that that's unfair to put on one person or a select few people or whatever, because everybody plays their part. Some people have more means to do more things than others, and that's always going to be the case. That's always going to be true. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't or they should. I'm just saying that's what it is. That's just a fact. But to kind of go back to the point about that, those lanes being narrow too, a lot of people, like you said, want to be basketball players, want to be rappers, singers, or actors or whatever. They don't have a broader scope of what success could possibly look like. If success only looks like three things, yeah, it's gonna feel like I can't do this or whatever if I'm not the cream of the crop, because the niggas that's the cream of the crop, they're the ones that's gonna make it in those three fucking things.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, other people have 20 or 30 things that can be deemed successful or look like success for them. And you could be an average person and make a decent living. You could be average in this aspect and be well off. You don't gotta be the best of the best or the best we've ever seen in the history of life to like to be a
yeah,
billionaire. Like look like like we deem LeBron top three we've ever seen in the history of basketball for him to be a billionaire. Like, and then you got some dudes that's regular dudes that's nowhere near that, will never get to that. But then you got this regular average doctor or dentist that's making fucking 250,000 a year, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's just
yeah.
like just things that you deem successful. If you don't see it a lot, you're gonna feel like you're in a box to where you have no idea what else looks like success for you.
I agree. I agree with that because one of my homies, he works in IT, and it's like he makes $60 an hour, and he makes an honest living, and he goes he goes to schools, he talks about what he does, but it's like it's all about what you see and what the media portrays. Because in the media, you see the same thing. You see TMZ. Oh, I want to be on TMZ. I want to play professional basketball. Like you said, so it's about essentially you are put in a box because it's not a lot of different opportunities to learn about different things. And they two of my homies, they swim. Like I never met nobody that swam like really swam. And
Right.
one of them is training for the Olympics. I got another homie she's training for the Olympics. She runs track, and it's like it's all about what you want to do. It's not about what you want to do, but it's like the different opportunities that you're afforded. Because me, if I would have learned, if I would have like been able to swim, it's like, damn, I'll try this, or I could just
Right.
do so many different things. But it's just like it's a difficult conversation because it's like, do I want to be this thing, or is this my only way out? So I have to be this thing.
Exactly. Exactly. Shit. You only know what you know. You know what I mean? Like, if that's all I see and that's all I know and that's all I hear about and that's all I see that people are being successful with, it's what I gotta be. There's a lot of people that's in a lot of situations or a lot of jobs for that matter where I don't want to do this shit, but just the shit that's paying the bills. So I'm gonna do it. And then I think that also creates a level of
We
resentment
need we
for
need we need more
themselves.
regular people. We need more people that want to be regular people. Yeah,
Yeah, but not everybody wants to be
it's
regular, bro. Not everybody wants to be regular. Everybody sees what they see on Instagram, Twitter, whatever else other social media fucking outlet you want to talk about. And this is what you see. This is what's plastered on your timeline every day, all day. Rappers, singers, actresses, actors, I don't know, whatever else. And you be like, damn, I see this lifestyle. this is what I feel like I could attain if I do this, that, and the third. And you try to do that. Meanwhile, you're not being true to yourself, or you have no idea who you are. Even if you get to that point to be successful, there's a lot of rich, miserable people. There's a lot of people that got a lot of people around them, but they feel lonely, like because they're not content or happy with who they are when the fucking stage is packed up, the fans go home. When you sitting in the crib by yourself, you just a rich, miserable motherfucker, and that does nobody any favors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's all about becoming better with yourself as an individual while also achieving those goals that you want to achieve. It doesn't matter if you achieve those goals and you're not happy, healthy, intact, spiritually, mentally, physically, any of that.
So like me, for me, like I could have kept playing ball, but it was for me, it was NBA or nothing. Like I wanted to go to the league. If I don't go to the NBA, I'm done with it. I'll just play for fun at this point, rather than me. I go overseas. I'm away from my family, and it's like, like my dad makes great money. I just want to make good money. Like I'm cool with. Essentially, I want to make 150 grand a year. Like whatever job I get, I want to make 150 grand, and I feel like that's my closest way to becoming a millionaire, to becoming what I want to do. Is rather than trying to, I won't say like trying to start this company or try to start this $1 billion idea, this $1 million idea. That's what a lot of people try to do. And it's like, whatever you thought of, whatever company you want to come up with, somebody's already tried it and failed. Somebody somewhere is trying to do that same thing. And it's like, it's just wanting to make an honest living, or not even wanting to make an honest living. Just so many people get caught up trying to become this one thing that they let time pass them by, and they're 30, 40 years old trying to be this one thing. And it's like the window has everything but shut. And it's like, you just stuck now. So me, like I stopped playing. Once I stopped playing ball when I was 18. Once I stopped playing ball, like really trying to pursue it professionally, it allowed me to do things like this, to tap into so many of my other talents, to learn how to do this, learn how to do that. And it gave me so much more free time to really like figure out what I want to do. And when you zero in on this one thing, that's all you see. You can't see a life without it. But when that one thing doesn't happen, it's like you just get stuck. And I feel like I don't want to say it's a disease, but it's a sad truth. It's like you really get stuck on this one thing, this one outcome for your life, like the one ending, the one happy ending, and it's everything but happy because you don't obtain it.
All right, so look, real quick, right? I wanna say this story on record. You probably don't remember this story, but I'm gonna say it anyway, and then we're gonna get out of here because I know you got some things to do. So we was in school one day. We was in school, and this small 2-minute conversation changed my life from that point on. Right? We was standing in the hallway. We was talking. And I don't know what prompted you to say this, but you was like, yo, bro, like, you poor. You was like, you poor. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what the fuck you mean? And then you was like, you pass on opportunities regularly. And I thought about it. I was like, this is very true. Because at that point in time, like, I would do just enough to get to the door, and then I would not. Like I would just be like, all right, I'm there, but I'm scared for what's on the other side of that door. I'm scared that my dreams may come true. So when you said that to me, that changed my whole mindset of just how I move through. Like that 2-minute conversation changed it.
A lot of people don't know that. T. Look, a lot of people don't know that. Nick. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think I'm all hoops.
No,
a lot of people don't know that, Nick.
That small 2-minute conversation in the hallway in high school changed my life, like for real. And like I don't even know if I ever told you that story, but like just all the strength of that, I was like, yeah, this is my brother forever.
Yeah, so it's like I want to inspire those around me. I want those around me to inspire me. And anybody who wasn't doing that such thing, it's like, it's like I said, I want to keep saying it. It's curtains. It's really like, it's not much you can do for me. So no, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I want to publicly say thank you for that conversation and
No
just that, I love you for that, man, for real. Yeah, man, this was a great conversation. I think that we definitely touched on a lot of things that people could definitely take away from this conversation and hopefully apply to themselves. Just to take a little minute to think about how they move through life, the people that they keep around them, just their own mindset or the mindsets of people that they keep around. Hey man, all in all, it's a great conversation. I want to thank you. I also want to thank the HolloTalk Podcast listeners and supporters for supporting us through and through. We appreciate y'all, we love y'all, and we thank y'all. You got anything else you wanna add?
No, just like you said, appreciate y'all for listening. We definitely could do this again soon this week. Like, I'm coming up towards the end of the semester, so we definitely could get together again soon, a few times.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna get you out of here. I want to thank you again, though. Seriously, bro. Love you. I appreciate you. I thank you, man. And again, HolloTalk Podcast listeners and supporters, we appreciate y'all through and through, and we will be back with another episode. Hey.